Hello children, welcome to History Unit 4, the Delhi Sultanate. The Delhi Sultanate consisted of 5 dynasties: Slave dynasty, Khalji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, Sayyid dynasty and Lodi dynasty. During the 11th century, the Turkish horsemen pillaged northern India, and due to their persistent campaigns, they succeeded in seizing political controls over the Gangetic plains. In this lesson, we will discuss how Turkish warriors set about founding and consolidating their Islamic rule till the advent of Babur, the Mughal ruler. Slave dynasty 1206 to 1290. Muslim rule in India was established by Muhammad Ghori in the 12th century AD. As he had no sons, he nurtured special slaves called Bandagan. These slaves were posted as governors and they were later raised to the status of sultan. After Ghori's death in 1206, one of his slaves, Qutbuddin Aibak, who had been left behind by Muhammad Ghori to govern the territories he had conquered, proclaimed himself the ruler of the Turkish territories in India. He laid the foundation of the slave dynasty. This dynasty is also known as Mamluk dynasty. Mamluk is an Arabic word meaning slave. Qutbuddin Aibak, Shamsuddin Iltutmish and Ghiyasuddin Balban were the 3 great slave sultans of this dynasty. The slave dynasty ruled over the subcontinent for about 84 years. Qutbuddin Aibak 1206 to 1210. Qutbuddin Aibak began his rule by establishing Lahore as his capital. Later he shifted his capital to Delhi. He personally led military campaigns to the central and western Indo-Gangetic plain. Aibak built the Quwatul Islam Masjid in Delhi. This mosque is to be called the oldest in India. He also laid the foundation of the Qutub Minar, but he was unable to complete it. Aibak died of injuries received during an accident fall from the horse while playing polo in 1210. Aibak's son Aram Shah proved incompetent, and so the Turkish nobles chose Iltutmish, the son-in-law of Aibak, as the sultan. Iltutmish 1210 to 1236. Iltutmish firmly established his control over the territories by suppressing rebellions. It was during his reign that the threat of Mongols under Genghis Khan loomed large over the frontiers of India. In order to counter the possible attacks of the Mongols, Iltutmish organized the Turkish nobility into a select group of 40 nobles. They were called as Chahal Gani or the 40. Iltutmish granted Iqtas land to members of his army. Iqta is the land granted to army officials in lieu of a regular wage. The Iqta holder is called Iqtadar or Mukti, who had to provide the Sultan with military assistance in times of war. The Iqtadar collected revenue for his Iqta to meet the cost of maintaining his troops. Iltutmish completed the construction of the Qutub Minar started by Aibak. Iltutmish died in April 1236 after ruling for 26 years. As the most capable son of Iltutmish, Ruknuddin Firas was dead. Iltutmish nominated his daughter Razia Sultana as his successor to the throne of Delhi. Razia was an able and brave fighter, but she had a tough time with the Turkish nobles. Razia made an Ethiopian slave named Jalaluddin Yaqut as her personal attendant and started trusting him completely. This led to a revolt of the Turkish nobles who conspired against her and got her murdered in 1240. Ghiyasuddin Balban 1266 to 1287. After Razia, 3 weak rulers in succession ascended the throne. After them came Ghiyasuddin Balban. Balban abolished the 40 as it was hostile to him. He established a department of spies to gather intelligence about the conspirators and the troublemakers. He was ruthless in dealing with enemies. Balban, however, took care to maintain cordial relationship with the Mongols and got the assurance that Mongols would not advance beyond Sutlej. He patronized the famous Persian poet Amir Khusro. Balban died in 1287. Balban's son Kaikobad turned out to be weak. In 1290, Malik Jalaluddin Khalji assumed the office as the Sultan and ruled in the name of Kaikobad. Then one day Jalaluddin sent one of his officers and had Kaikobad murdered. Thus ended that rule and began the Khalji dynasty. Jalaluddin Khalji 1290 to 1296. There were many military campaigns during the reign of Jalaluddin, but they were mostly organized and led by his nephew Alauddin, the governor of Kara. Alauddin, after defeating the Yadava king Ramachandra, plundered the city and returned with huge wealth. Alauddin treacherously killed Jalaluddin. Alauddin Khalji 1296-1316. Alauddin Khalji consolidated the Delhi Sultan. With his northern frontiers secure, he sent his chief lieutenant Malik Kafur into the southern parts, who took even the distant Madurai in 1310. The Yadavas of Devagiri, the Kakatiyas of Warangal, the Hoysalas of Dwara Samutra, and the Pandyas of Madurai accepted Alauddin's suzerainty. Alauddin undertook a survey of the agrarian resources around his capital and fixed a standard revenue demand. The prices were fixed and the grain collected as tax was stored in the state granaries. In order to ensure the enforcement of his new regulation, he employed spies who were responsible to report to him directly. Alauddin died in 1316 and the failure of his successors to retain power led to the seizure of the Tughlaq dynasty. Muhammad bin Tughlaq 1325 to 1351. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was a learned man. He dreamt of making the whole of the subcontinent his domain. With a view to facilitating extended sovereignty, he shifted his capital from Delhi to Devnagiri. He also changed its name to Daulatabad. When Muhammad himself decided that the move was a mistake, he ordered a return to Delhi as the capital again. Tughlaq changed the Alauddin system of revenue collection in grain. It should be collected in money, he ordered. This proved disastrous, resulting in famines. When he discovered that the stock of coins and silver were inadequate for minting, he issued a token currency in copper. Counterfeiting soon became order of the day. Trade suffered, merchants stopped business. This forced Sultan to withdraw the token currency. This move led to the state to become bankrupt. Tughlaq increased land tax in the Doab region and this triggered peasant revolts. Tughlaq ruled as Sultan for 25 years. During his long reign, he had to face many revolts of the provincial governors. The new Daulatabad and the conquered territories were declared independent sultanate and became the Bahmani kingdom. Its founder, after whom it was named, was a soldier formerly in Tughlaq's service. Tughlaq died on 23rd March 1351. Firoz Shah Tughlaq 1351 to 1388. Firoz, the son of Ghiyasuddin's younger brother, succeeded Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Firoz could neither suppress revolts nor win back the provinces that had broken away. He created charities to aid poor Muslims and built colleges, mosques, and hospitals. He banned inhuman punishment and abolished taxes not recognized by Muslim law. He promoted agriculture but waiving off the debts of agriculturists and constructing many canals for irrigation. He laid out 1,200 new gardens and restored 30 old gardens of Alauddin Khalji. He had built new towns such as Firozabad, Jaunpur, Hisar and Firozpur. Despite adopting a peaceful approach and taking efforts to organize the Sultanate well, he had to spend his last days in unhappiness. His own son Muhammad Khan revolted against him and Firoz Shah died in September 1388. Timur's invasion 1398. The sacking and massacre by Tamerlane or Timur of Delhi came a decade after Firoz Shah Tughlaq died. Timur had occupied some parts in the northwest of India. Taking advantage of India's weakness, he entered India in December 1398 and plundered Delhi. Punjab, besides Delhi city, was the province that suffered most by Timur's raid. He carried huge wealth in the form of gold, silver, jewels, and also took along Indian artisans like carpenters, masons to work on monuments in his territory. Sayyid dynasty 1414-1451. Though the Sultanate fragmented into a number of independent kingdoms, it endured for 114 years till the Mughal invasion. Before leaving Delhi, Timur had left behind his representative Khizr Khan as the governor of his territory he had conquered. He founded the Sayyid dynasty in 1414, which lasted till 1451. The last ruler of this dynasty, Alauddin Alam Shah, abdicated the throne in 1451. Lodi dynasty 1451 to 1526. In 1489, Bala Lodi was succeeded by his son Sikandar Lodi. Sikandar was a patron of arts and learning. He founded the city of Agra and made it his capital. He died in 1517 and was succeeded by his son Ibrahim Lodi, who was defeated by Babur in 1526 in the Panipat battle. Thus, the Lodi dynasty and the great Delhi Sultanate ended by Babur. Babur established the Mughal Empire in India. And with that, we come to the conclusion of the lesson, children. And we end the first term with this. And be prepared for the second term very soon. Take care. Revise well. Thank you.